My name is Carolyn, and I talk to the spirit world. Travel with me to a dimension filled with love, light, and joyful surprises. Welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. Hi everybody, Carolyn Wilkins here. I hope that you're having a fabulous summer. I know I am. It's been super hot here in Boston, something we're not all that used to, but nonetheless we're adapting, giving us a chance to wear the shorts and the light clothes and the cheerful colors, and yeah, life is just good, and I hope you've been feeling the same. I have a wonderful show lined up for you, and I don't want to take too much preliminary time to get into it because I have a fabulous guest. This is Larry Davids, and I am so blessed. I met him when I went out to Arthur Findlay College in England, and I was meeting all these English people, and they said, everybody kept saying, well, you're a musician. Have you met Larry? Oh, you're a musician. You met Larry. When I finally met him, I understood what the deal was. Like myself, he's a jazz musician. Like myself, he's a psychic and a medium and just an all-around super person. I'm really excited to have him as my guest. I talked to him a couple of months ago via Zoom, and I'm going to share that call with you right now. Hi everybody, this is Carolyn Wilkins. I'm here in the Psychic Playroom, as you well know, and I have a special guest for you today. My guest is Larry Davids, and he, like myself, is a medium, and like myself, he is also a musician, and I've invited him here all the way from London, England, to talk to us about music and mediumship. So welcome, Larry.
Thank you, Caroline. Nice to be here, and to all you listeners out there as well.
Oh, I'm so appreciative that you came today. So, as I've given you this big build-up, I know that you play violin and guitar. Can you tell us a little bit about your musical background and what you did in music before becoming a medium?
Yeah, very quickly. When I was living in Vancouver, in Canada, as a full-time musician, touring North America, had a #1 hit in Germany with a song I wrote called Sexy Tears Boogie in a rockabilly band.
Wait a minute. Sexy what?
Well, my stage name is Sexy Pierre because Pierre is my middle name. And what happened when I became I don't want to use the word famous, but successful, people kept ringing me up saying, can you pass my demo tape to your record company, blah, blah, blah. How you getting all your gigs? Who got you that TV show? So I had to get my number enlisted, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to use my first name, which is Larry. I'll just use my middle name and add the word sexy to make it more outrageous. Like Archie, Elton John, they've all changed their names, so I thought, why not change mine? I'll go with Sexy Pierre, which sounds outrageous. SP for short. So many people still call me SP.
Oh my goodness, I just love it. I love it. So you were well known in Vancouver. Obviously, you moved to London. How did you, or when did you know that you were a psychic and sort of want to pursue more that kind of work versus the professional musician track?
Well, that's a very good question, Caroline. Ever since childhood, I used to see spirit and leprechauns. Right up into my 20s, I'd see these leprechauns. I'd be in my garden on a bright sunny day, playing the guitar, and then they'd always be in threes. And at nighttime, I'd see them running to my sister's bedroom, and it would freak me out. I'd go back downstairs and tell my parents, don't be stupid, go back to bed. And my sister used to see them on the window ledge as well. And I used to see spirit objectively, like not with my third eye, but with my physical eyes. And I studied with Sonia Charquette in Chicago. And at one event I did, I clearly saw, just like I see you clearly, her father was standing behind her. and he gave me a message. So I waited till lunchtime. I came up to her. I said, I hope you don't think I'm crazy, but I saw a man there telling me he's your father. And then she burst out crying, saying, oh my gosh, I was waiting for someone to come up to me. I didn't want to tell anyone, because you know what it's like. If you tell a room full of psychics, my father just passed, they'll all come up to me. But I wanted to make sure it was an authentic message. So you're so pleased at the time.
Wow.
I described what he was wearing, the message, and she said, yep, that was excellent. So she was like thankful.
Wow.
Ever since I've been, you take these things for granted, because I didn't think anything different or special. You just see, sense, pick up. And it wasn't until I started seeing mediums when I was at 14, they used to tell me, oh, you've got the gift, you've got to develop it, work at it. And I used to think, that's not what I want to hear, because in those days, I wanted to hear about my music career.
Of course, of course. Isn't that something? And I will just as a side note, and I know we've talked about this, but I've also studied with Sonia. And when you see the show come on, you will actually see I got a selfie taken with her, and I actually use that in my opening titles montage because I'm so proud of it. She's a super teacher for waking up your intuition. But anyway, that is a little bit of a detour. I want to go back. So you've always had the gift of mediumship, and you eventually decided to pursue this on a more full-time basis. But if I'm not wrong, you also do something with music as well. You've continued your music, maybe not Sexy Pierre, that piece, but can you tell us a little bit about how you combine your music and mediumship, if you do?
Yeah, during my musical travels, I got fed up of being a full-time musician, because it's very tiring touring all the time. And all the compliments you get are good for your ego, but it doesn't pay the bills. So I went back to university, became a music therapist. It didn't fulfill my yearning of combining music with healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually studied through the College of Sound Healing to become what's called a sound healer. So now I use my voice, tuning forks, crystal bowls, Himalayan bowls, and I conduct what's called sound healing sessions.
Wow, that's nice. And that's something that a person could come to you on a one-to-one basis. It would be a private appointment. Maybe they would have something, they're sick or something like that, and they would come and sit in your studio and you would play this various sounds for them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, they'd lie on the healing couch. I quickly assess them verbally, and then I like to tune in energetically. So when I work on them, I like to see what do I pick up. It doesn't really matter what they say verbally, because as you may know, everything starts in the energy body and transfers to the physical body. So
yes,
our job as healers is to try and interpret, think, okay, why is this person suffering from this in a physical body? Let's see if I can tune into the energy body and release it. And I'd say my success rate is quite high, really. I mean, there's no guarantee it can cure anyone. So I always emphasize that from the beginning. This is not a guarantee for a cure. It's only called rebalancing your chakras, your energy centers, the cells, and then let's see what it leads to. But most people, well, everyone actually is left really happy. So
that is fabulous. What a wonderful thing. I have just recently started doing something where I'm attempting to combine my music and mediumship as well. And I do feel that the two gifts may in fact only be different aspects of the same gift. You have, as a musician, skills obviously on your instrument, etc. But that same ability to get into the power and to channel and tune into something higher and larger than oneself, to me that is the same thing, whether it's in music or in mediumship or really maybe in anything in life. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Well, I can only speak from my perspective, as I agree with you, Caroline. When I do my music, I channel it, and I never knew I used to channel it, because I go in the zone, and then if I don't write things down, the next day I'll go, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? It could have been so simple, but I'll completely forget it. Same when I write my books. And so with mediumship, it's the same thing. Every time I do my mediumship, as you know, mediumship is not a formula. You can't just study it like science. You hope that you go into that zone. So, for example, when I was doing what's called a 2-hour live event last Saturday at a hotel, 60 people there, people were screaming out, "Oh my God, how could you possibly know that?" Well, I'm not a mind reader. Spirit gives me that, so I'm just relaying back to them. And because you get the shivers up and down your body, so you're definitely blending, as they say, with spirit, connecting with spirit. And it's the same with music. When I know I'm in the zone, I just feel like something's taken over me and I'm watching myself playing away. And of course, that's the musician's dream, is to always be in that state. But being human, we cannot guarantee, quick, how do I get back to that state?
Yeah. That is so true. And your description of it is just brilliant because it is something, and I do think, tell me what you think about this. I've noticed since I've been really studying mediumship and consciously making an effort to meditate and go in the power every day and this type of thing, I have found that my ability to play the piano and touch people with my music has hugely increased without me practicing anymore. I'm actually probably practicing less than I used to practice because now I'm trying to build my mediumship and develop that skill more. But have you found that that your music gets stronger because of your ability to surrender to spirit as a medium? I guess that's my question.
Oh, Caroline, you must be psychic because you took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. Ever since I've been seriously developing on my mediumship, sitting in the power, as you say, I can't believe it. It's like I'm more going deeper with the music. I formed a new duo called Nuage, which means clouds in French. Nuage.
Nice.
So it's violin, and I found a guy playing guitar, acoustic guitar. I sent you one track so you can get a snippet.
Beautiful. I loved it.
And it's all channel music. And within 30 minutes, I just gave him 6 pieces to play. Now people say, "Where can I buy your CD?" And that was just our first rehearsal. But that's because it was all channeled. And
That's
as you
right.
channel something, you feel it. You can't, what's the word? Force it. If it's not there, it's just not there.
That is so true. Well, wow, amazingly, we're coming to the close of our little 10-minute interview. But before we disconnect, can you share with the audience, do you do your work? I know you mentioned you do, obviously, I'm assuming you do private sittings if people want to come to you for mediumship or psychic reading, I'm assuming, to connect with their departed loved ones. And you also do this sound healing work that you spoke of. If people are not in England, do you work with people over the Skype or the Zoom or anything? How do you feel about that work?
Yeah, I just had clients yesterday from Vancouver. I have clients from all over the world. I work on Skype, Zoom, phone, email, in person, via technology. So I also do intuitive life coaching, not just psychic mediumship, sound healing. So many people have problems in life. So even though they say something verbally, I tune in and I ask my guides, and they always give me the right info for the person. And as you know, the person has to take the steps, the action. We cannot give them
No,
the cure. They have to
we
take, it's a bit
cannot.
like saying, "Oh, I have a personal trainer," but what's the point if you never go to the gym?
No, we cannot fix their lives. However, we can sometimes give them a direction from spirit that will help them. So, if someone, because we're not allowed on this program to actually list websites per se, but if someone Googles you, if they Google your name, can you please spell your name so people can Google you to find out how to connect and maybe receive a treatment from you?
Yes, you're right, Caroline. I do have a website. The first name is Larry, Larry, and the surname is David with an S. So that's Davids, Larry Davids. And if you Google that, it brings you up my spiritual website.
Fabulous. I'm so happy that we were able to connect, and we will definitely do it again. And I do hope that eventually you may come back. I know you don't tour much, but who knows, maybe you'll come as a medium and come over here, or I'll go back to Arthur Finley again and not meet you there, but that we will definitely stay in touch. Thank you so much, Larry Davids, for visiting the Psychic Playroom today.
Well, thank you so much, Caroline, and I look forward to seeing you soon again.
Wasn't that fun? He's just a beautiful soul. So that's Larry Davids. You Google that, you will find him. And now, speaking of channeling and bringing guidance, we come to the next section of my program, and this is where I answer your questions, questions that you have sent me either by Facebook, email, Messenger, whatever. And so I have 3 questions I'm going to answer today on the program. The first one comes from MS, and it's about getting a job. MS would like insight in getting a job. So I'm bringing out my trusty Akashic Record Tarot deck, and I'm just going to shuffle it. And as I do, I'm going to ask, what does MS need to know in terms of finding a job? What kind of information will be helpful, which might help MS to find a job? And once again, as Larry spoke of, I'm connecting with my guides and soul and higher self to try to bring through the highest and best information for MS about a job. Okay, and so I've spread the cards out here. I'm pulling one, and that is the scribe. Okay, so what this is telling me is that there is writing involved. I don't know if you're writing a book or you're thinking about writing a book, but according to this card gives me the feeling that you are a very good writer, MS, and that you're very good at conveying the written word, not so much the spoken word, but actually you're a person who needs to take time and write it down and think it through, and when you do, it comes through beautifully. So I do feel that there's writing involved in your new job, or that when you're looking at jobs and considering between this one and this one, the one that involves writing as opposed to the one that involves talking, it'll be the writing one for you. And also, when you're writing your letter of application for this job, make sure to really make it stand out. You have tremendous verbal ability with writing, according to this card. So I hope that that is helpful, MS. You'll have to let me know, and this goes for everyone on the program. If I read for you and I come up with something, please give me a holler and let me know how it turned out and whether it was helpful. But the scribe and writing, that is going to be very important. All right, so I hope that that was helpful, MS. And now the next question comes from B. And that question is about relationship. And the question is, what is the state of the relationship? Should it be continued? Is it time to leave the relationship? What does B need to know about the relationship? And I am now shuffling the cards and asking the cards, what does B need to know about relationship? And yeah, let's see. For always, I'm asking for the highest and best information, the highest and best guidance. And yeah, so the card that comes here is, this is a 2-sided card. There's spring on one side, autumn on the other side. I would say that since spring is up, that says to me that by the spring, which is a ways away, but by the spring, you are going to see a significant change in this relationship, and possibly a new relationship in the spring. either with a different person, or if it's with the same person, there will be a realignment of things. The way that things have been going is not going to continue. In the spring, there's going to be a big change, and you're already feeling the beginnings of that change coming. I'm going to go ahead and quickly yank one more, and that is the King of Forces. And what that says to me, the kind of person that you are going to be meeting is someone who is in command of all the aspects of their life. This person is going to be very together financially, morally, intellectually, emotionally. This is going to be a completely fulfilling person in a way that you are not currently experiencing. Whether it is the same person that you're currently with, and they're going to change and evolve and be able to utilize more of their full self. It could be that, or it could be that you're meeting a completely new person. But this King of Forces is the person that you're looking for. This is a person who has skills. This is a person who is not just randomly going through life. This is a person with a plan, who is able to marshal their forces and move forward on a plan and treat you with the respect and power that you deserve. And look for this in the spring. Okay, B, I hope that this is helpful. I have one more, and this is from CN. And the question is about a child. And the question is, what else can CN do to help her child? There's obviously been conflicts and problems, and the question is about his future. What else can be done? What else can CN do as a parent? And I know that there's nothing more difficult in life than dealing with problems with children. Sometimes we love them so much. So what does CN need to know about this middle child? That is the question that I'm going to ask. I'm going to spread out the cards. Let's see. Okay. So this one is the sands of time. And what this says to me is that although right now things are looking very tempestuous, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of arguing, in time it is going to smooth out. Somewhere in your question, I believe that you asked something about, is there a future for this child? And this, the sands of time, to me feels very definitely a yes. And that although it feels very bumpy right now, to bear with it, to be patient, to continue to have faith that the child is going to find their way and find their right balance. I'm going to very quickly pull up another card here. And that card is Will, Wisdom, and Mind. And what this says, I believe that this card is speaking to what you will need to have. And first of all, you need to stick to your guns. Don't give up and lower your standards. My feeling, you're kind of on this child a lot, and you have some very clear goals that you would like them to achieve. Stick with it. Don't give up, but do have the wisdom to maybe just back off a little bit to give them space. Sometimes a child needs a little space, so use your wisdom, but at the same time, stick to the overall goal. And lastly, it's mind. You stick with your mind, a clear mind, know for sure what you want, and then have faith that, in fact, this is going to be how it turns out. So it's not as bad as it seems right now, and it feels to me very much that things will improve in a few months. Give it at least a few months, the sands of time. All right. So, my friends, I hope that these readings have been helpful. I'm feeling guided in this last 40 seconds to pull another card. Ha! Look at this. I was going to pull another card for MS because she only got one card. And look what card came. Ha! The Scribe. So, Scribe is for you, baby. So listen, this is Carolyn Wilkins. I hope that you have enjoyed this session together. I hope that it's been fun and beneficial for you. And I'm going to just say adieu for now, and that hopefully I will see you again next month. So this is Carolyn Wilkins signing off. Bye for now. Thoughts are things with the energy to make life better for you and for me.